It's very funny how everything nowadays is all about perfectionism, aesthetics, looking great, caring too much about your feed, the way you look, the way things look, and just focusing too much on the aesthetics and the perfectionism that goes around in this world, especially on social media. Perfectionism and the aesthetics and things, we're not supposed to be like that, and we have taken them way out of, context. Like everything is just so perfect, so planned, so curated, so, what it is nowadays. And we are more than willing to follow those trends and be a part of them, and even create more trends and things that would feed on to the aesthetics of nowadays without even understanding why. And we are more than glad to follow trends. We are more than glad to even change our entire ideology when it comes to specific beliefs, values, we just carry inside of us. And the way we perceive things, it just could be changed like this due to social media, and due to the fact that we're being marketed and fed ideas, thoughts, and just about anything that could help you fit into the aesthetics. I was never able to conform to any rules. I never really listened to anyone. I never really cared what anyone had to say, except if it was something, particularly interesting or intellectual, like something that could help me grow, could benefit me in a way. But I never really cared about a thing. I always cared about what the thing represents, where it came from, why is it the way it is, how it keeps ceasing to exist the way it does, I'm just more interested about humans as humans, and not about how we present ourselves on social media necessarily. I don't really care about the aesthetics of things. I'm an artistic person. I do care about the way things look, how you interpret them in a way, like in your own personal way, and how you give your opinion on them and how you view them and perceive them is something that interests me more than the aesthetics themselves. I believe we have just lost our way of understanding things, or even analyzing things, or getting in touch with our deeper selves. Psychology, philosophy, history, like all the sciences that help us understand things, even the concepts that help us understand things, such as general understanding of aesthetics and how the culture operates nowadays, could help us understand how humans think, behave, why they do the things they do, why they like the things they like, why they dislike the things they dislike. Could potentially disappear with one selfie online that explains to you how you can achieve facial symmetry, for you to fit into the aesthetics, for people to like you more, or for you to just fit in to a circle, to a community, to anything where you're supposed to not belong. It's just, you're being marketed and programmed to think that you need to look a certain way in order to belong somewhere. And you're not being marketed that you need to think a certain way in order for you to belong somewhere. Because we as humans are just social beings. We need to think, we need to analyze, we need to critically be able to understand concepts that we are in touch with on a daily basis, and not just look a certain way, because that's what the world is revolved around, and it's lacking depth, and this is what people are not liking anymore. Because it's very easy for you to look pretty, it's very easy for you to chase aesthetics, to belong in those aesthetics, but it's very difficult for you to understand why those aesthetics exist in the first place, and why we are being marketed those aesthetics. So if you feel like you belong in a world that wants to understand aesthetics more than it wants to follow them, if you want to understand how our culture is operating, if you feel like you have opinions, thoughts, ideas, anything, this platform is for you. This platform I have created is called Anxayety Culture, and I have done this project the end of last year and the beginning of this year, and I have given up on it because I thought people would not be interested in such topics like researching about aesthetics, culture, or the ethics, or the mannerism, or the behavior of human beings. But I do find that it is necessary to have this nowadays. Aesthetics were never supposed to be what they are nowadays. Aesthetics in the older days used to mean trying to analyze and understand how humans perceive things through their senses, how they perceive beauty, how they perceive generally anything, and the ethics of it, the context, and not looking symmetrical in the face. This is what aesthetics mean today, just looking pretty. The page focuses on why does this thing look pretty and why we perceive it that way and why many people perceive it differently, which is something that fascinates me personally. A nice feed, finding an aesthetic photo, belonging into an aesthetic, belonging to a trend. The page and the project are called Anxayety Culture because I do believe that anxiety fuels a lot of intellectual minds, creativity and thoughts. And it felt very natural to just call it Anxayety Culture because in today's culture, anxiety is what rules everything. And for a very specific amount of people, can anxiety be turned into something that is so beautiful, such as thoughts, ideas. I believe most of artists around the world do have anxiety at some point. And you will see on this platform dissections of aesthetics, case studies, interviews with normal people. I'm the kind of person that would interview someone and not ask them, tell me more about yourself. I would more gladly be interested about what's in their bag or what's in their fridge. Because that would tell me much more about them than to just ask them, where do you come from? What was your childhood like? Do you have any trauma? These questions do help, but the main purpose of Anxayety Culture is to be able to dissect what do you collect, what do you have in your bag, how do you perceive aesthetics, do you think aesthetics can be taught, if yes, how do you perceive specific topics, how do you analyze those topics, how much depth do you carry inside of you. This is something I'm more interested in, to be honest. And if you feel like this is a place where you belong, I would highly encourage you to join this as a community and to be part of it. And open to interviewing people, asking people questions from all around the world. I really do care about people's opinions, their thoughts, the way they see things, perceive things, think about things, because we have so many opinions in this world. And I do want to, at some point in this lifetime, if not this one, in the next one, know everyone's opinions on the same topics and just explore the human mind, how we behave, your values, your beliefs, what do you think about humanity. I want to dive in deeper on the philosophy of our existence. So if you feel like this is somewhere you belong, please join this as a community, follow Anxayety Culture. Do support this project and this page, and do know that I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you a course or a product. I'm basically trying to sell you a point of view. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this project. I hope you like what you heard. I hope you like this project. Feel free to subscribe, to follow, to even email, DM, contact Anxayety Culture. My name is Andrea and this is Anxayety Culture. I hope that you tag along in this project.